Okay, now that you've been introduced to the B.U.C. strategy for solving word problems, we're going to use that exact same strategy to create a table to help us solve a word problems. So we're going to look at this problem. The problem reads, Alicia can paint 2 walls in 5 hours. At this rate, how long will it take her to paint 40 walls at her parents' house? So first, let's break down the B.U.C. system. The first letter is B. B stands for box the question. So in this 2 sentences, the actual question we're looking for is, how long will it take her to paint the 40 walls? That's what we need to figure out. How long for 40 walls? The U tells us to underline the important information. So in this problem, we know the important things should be that it's going to take, she has 2 walls, and in that 2 walls, or for those 2 walls, it'll take her 5 hours. The other piece that we need to know is we're looking for the time to paint 40 walls. So those are the pieces of information that we need to know that are important for this problem. The C, we need to circle the vocabulary word. Circle a word that we don't know or that is particular to this unit. And this unit happens to be rate. This is a word that we've discussed before, but it's something that's going to help us solve this problem, I believe. The K, there's really nothing that we need to knock out, and I'm out of colors, but if we're going to knock something out that isn't hugely important, is it doesn't matter that she's at her parents' house. Because the problem is just talking about how many walls it takes her to, or how many walls she's painting and how fast she does it. So it could be at her parents' house, it could be at school, it could be at the mall. But the things that we need to know are 2 walls, 5 hours. How long will it take her to do 40 walls? So to create a table, the things that we're comparing is wall to hours. So if I create my table, I'm going to put walls in the independent side. Hopefully that's a term that we've used before. And I'm going to use my dependent variable is our hours. I'm going to make this table. And so then our rate. The rate that we know that we're given is that she can do 2 walls in 5 hours. So 2 walls in 5 hours. Next, let's see, what can we do to solve this? We need to work our way up to 40. So one way we can do, we just double this. So if 2 walls will take 5 hours, 4 walls, I'm going to multiply this by 2. That's what doubling is. And I'm going to multiply this by 2 then also, because for this to stay proportional, hopefully that's a phrase that we've talked about before also in class, we're going to, whatever I do the independent variable, I have to do the dependent variable. So, okay, we got 4 walls in 10 hours. Well, I know through my number talks that we've done at school that 4 can go into 40. So instead of just continuing my table and going 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, I'm going to use some learning that I had in my brilliant 6th grade classroom, and I know that 4 can go into 40. That's what I'm trying to find. 4 goes into 40, I multiply that by 10, 4 times 10 will give me 40. Well, if I do it to my independent side, then I have to do it to my dependent side. So I'm going to do 10 times 10, which will give me 100. So my table now tells me that if Alicia can paint 2 walls in 5 hours, to get the 40 walls done, it's going to take her 100 hours. Now I've said that in a sentence to you because we're having this time here, we're able to talk. But if I'm going to relay this information to somebody else, I need to be able to write that in a sentence that they can understand and explains my thinking. So a complete sentence might say, if Alicia can paint 2 walls every 5 hours, period, or a comma, then at this rate, she can paint 40 walls in 100 hours. So let's go back and double check. We have our information. We have 2 walls, 5 hours. We're talking about the rate being constant. And I give the solution that 40 walls will take 100 hours. Does that go back to our question? How long would it take her to paint 40 walls? It will take her 100 hours. I have my table there that I'm able to show my thinking. And I've used the B.U.C.K strategy to break down that word problem so that I understood what information I needed and how I could attack the problem. I hope this helps, and you'll get a chance to apply your thinking here in just a second.